Hey, welcome to What the Fuck. The bird is being groomed. He's a little mani-pedi. And by the bird, I mean the bird. What's going on? We are finishing breaking episode 3. About a day or two behind on that, and I've started my draft of episode 602. Casting news, don't have any that I can reveal as of yet. Tweeted this morning. I've been had this story in my head, or these lyrics in my head, about 3 or 4 months now, and put them down over the hiatus, and just sort of had a very outlaw feel to it, and I've become friends with Shooter Jennings, really through Drea initially, and gave the lyrics to Shooter, and he kind of dug them, and heard a rough of what he was thinking, and I loved it. So he is writing the music for it and producing it, and hopefully we'll use it on the show early on. I think it would make sense. I don't know if it'll be the premiere, but it'll probably be in one of the first 3 or 4 episodes of the season. That's it. I will answer a few questions. Corinne from Las Vegas. Where can we get those badass clothes your beautiful wife wears on the show? I don't know. I know some of the stuff Katie wears is actually from Royal Army, from Royal Underground. They do some of the leather pieces. Some of the stuff is available, I think, on the website, on the Fox FX website. You know, we're such whores. We'll sell anything, or I shouldn't say. Fox will sell anything to make a buck. I don't really. It doesn't go in my pocket, trust me. So some of the stuff is available on the website, and then some of it, I think we have that app, and I don't know the name of it. It's the SOA merchandise app. That it's pretty cool. It syncs up with the show, so when the show is running live, and I think it's live. I don't think it happens during reruns. Maybe it does. As the show is running live, it syncs up with the show. So as you're watching it, and Gemma comes on screen, you'll see a thing that'll come up and say, "Oh, that jacket, la 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 la," and you'll be able to click and find out who makes the jacket. There'll be links, of course, to where you could purchase the jacket. So that's the merchandising link that we have. I would urge you, if you have interest in putting money in Rupert's pocket, like we all do, that you buy the app and use it when the show premieres. I will say this about the merchandising. I joke, and it all feeds the show's bottom line, which ultimately helps me and makes the show more secure and a more potent entity for the network. But I also will say that there's been some of this is really just giving fans what they want, and it's not like The Simpsons or Star Wars where we're just fucking printing the money in the back room. This is really, we'll get requests from people, and we'll like, oh, that's cool. People really love Gemma's jackets. Well, what if we do that? Or people really like Jax's jeans. What do we do? And so we'll try to, facilitate that and make them available to people. We'll do fun stuff like we did the Chucky Chili T-shirts. We, what would Gemma do T-shirts, things like that are, kind of fun and are really things that people have been asking about. We had big requests for, one of our wardrobe people made the little baby beanie for I guess it was for Abel in season 1, and we had so many requests for that beanie, and we ultimately put out the beanie and a onesie, and I don't know, we probably have Reaper diapers out at this point, but so that stuff is all available. But it's really about facilitating what people, for the most part, what people have asked for. Hey, how will Jax improve his work with the club this season? Will there be backstabbing from any other members? I think Jax is on that trajectory to really, at the head of that table. My sense is that after the events of last season with Opie, that there's a responsibility that Jax feels to the club, and we saw at the end of season 5 that conversation with Tara about getting out and not getting out, and that Jax is, my sense is that he feels that he has a bigger obligation to the club than he does perhaps to his family at this point. And not that he doesn't love or care or want to take care of his family, but I think he's taking a step back and really trying to assess who he is and what his priorities are and what his responsibilities are as a man. And I think the club lands pretty high on that list, at least coming into this season. So I think he'll continue to do the right thing by the club and try to get them into more legitimate businesses. I think he'll try to continue to do things to allow them to earn, like any good outlaw boss would do, and keep them out of the crosshairs of the law. And as far as backstabbing from any other members, you talk to any guys that are in the life and in clubs, and it's just the nature of the world. There's a lot of conflict within MCs, and as much as and as thick and as strong as the brotherhood is, things go bad sometimes, and I won't give away a story, but I'm sure we will continue to see some of the internal stress that's happened as a result of Jax being at the head of that table, with Bobby, with Tig, and how Jax's reign will be perceived and either accepted or not accepted by the members. Alyssa from Maryland says, any plans to work in the Irish connection? I really enjoyed the 3rd season and would like those ties to be explored again. Thank you, Alyssa. I think I've said this before. It's very interesting. Season 3 of this show was, something I knew I wanted to do from the beginning. I wanted to go back to sort of those Irish roots, and because we don't do flashbacks on this show, and I never really have long soliloquies where people are talking about, I just, I don't do things that perhaps other shows do in terms of reflection. It's just not. Though it's not that world, and these characters aren't people who tend to sit back and reflect a lot. There was an opportunity, I think, story-wise, to go back to Ireland and have some of that history be brought up organically, in terms of John Teller and finding out he had this relationship and he had this other child, and finding that through the pain of Gemma, through the character of Kellen, and the priest, and so it was just, for me, it was this great way to reveal some of the mythology, which to me people seem to be somewhat hungry for. And I think initially the perception of that season, I think, because we had these two strong seasons in Charming and people understood the world and were plugged in, and then suddenly it we split and ultimately went to Belfast for 7 or 8 episodes. I think there was a bifurcation that happened in terms of the fans, and feeling a little bit astray. So the reviews in terms of critics and some of the fans for season 3 was somewhat mixed, and it was difficult for me because I felt it was such a key and crucial season, and was so plugged in and loved all those storylines. And I love history, and I love being able to jump into the history of the club, through what we do as much as possible. And but John Landgraf said an interesting thing at the end of season 3, which was like, if you sit down and watch that season end to end, as if it were one big movie, it's an incredibly satisfying season, and perhaps maybe more satisfying than some of the other seasons, because of the historical thread that weaves through the season. But from week to week to week to week, which is how people watch TV for the most part, I know all that's changing, but from week to week, it was more difficult for people who sort of had a sense of what the show was and their expectations, and it just felt off point or slow, or it didn't seem as adrenalized or of the world as they felt they had, what they signed up for. So it's fascinating to me that, and I can say pretty much that everybody that has watched season 3, either through iTunes or Netflix or Amazon or DVD, for the most part, they watch those shows. They don't watch one every week. They watch 2 or 3 at a time. They put it down. They watch a couple more. Kind of like the way we would now watch House of Lies. Is that what it's called? House of Lies? House of Lies. The Netflix I'm completely spacing out. I think it's House of Lies. So pretty much the way we would then go to Netflix and watch that new show, that's how people have watched the first few seasons of the show, and pretty much everybody that has watched the show from through those mediums have really enjoyed season 3. I've not gotten really any, other than people complaining about the discrepancies with the dialects, which I couldn't agree with them more. People really seem to enjoy that season very much, and I've not heard any really negative backlash about that season from people who have watched it that way. Which proves to me that Landgraf was probably right, and not that that's a good thing. I don't make TV to be watched all at once in like a movie. I mean, I make TV episodically, knowing that people are going to watch it week to week. So, the inability that the fact that it didn't work from week to week, that burden and that mistake lands on me. But it's interesting that people who have watched it usually in 1 or 2 sittings, did not have the same experience of people who had watched it week to week when the show first aired. So that was a very rambling answer, but I just kind of needed to get that off my chest. One more question, and then because I'm probably at about 87 minutes already. Hey, if I'm your guy out of Stockton for season 6, call me. Yeah, we don't really shoot in Stockton, but I'll give you a call, Soul Power. All right, that's it. Look at me. Oh man, 15 minutes. I'm just fucking rambling. I clearly have nobody to talk to during the day. Clearly, I just, and I did. I went to my shrink today and everything, and still, I just vomit on you people. I deeply apologize. See, I need the bird here because the bird just sort of makes me uncomfortable enough where I shut up. Okay, that's it. Have a pleasant weekend, and I'll probably do another Q&A on Tuesday night and lose a few thousand followers. I love you. Really.